June shook a lot of investors out. I get it. Volatility can be scary. Apple fell, Microsoft fell, Meta fell, Tesla fell, and some of the leaders of the market fell really hard. And the Mag 7 truly has been underperforming, to say the least. But suddenly, everybody is asking the same question. Is the AI trade over? Now, after hearing what we heard from Micron, those numbers were so explosive, I really would say I don't think so. And I think that Wall Street may be giving us a second chance, but we gotta calm down before July starts. And it's right next door. So in this video, I'm gonna do something real explosive that I want you to really pay attention on. I'm gonna break down why June volatility may actually be setting us up for the next opportunity, why July has historically been the second strongest month in the market, and I'm gonna give you 3 AI infrastructure stocks that I'm buying before July 1st. Before we get into this video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and help us get to 2,000 likes, because that truly helps the video. Catch y'all in the algorithm. Let's go. So the first stock we're going to talk about is none other than Nvidia, because I feel like Nvidia hasn't really been the best performing lately, but it still is the king of AI, and it sets the table. Now, we know that June has been ugly. We've had volatility. We've had rate fears. We've had Iran headlines. All of a sudden, we going back and forth with them. Apple and Microsoft have raised prices on goods and services, and we got a new Fed that's at the table, so he's got to, insert his dominance. And then we got banks talking about we're going to get 3 rate hikes all over again. We know for a fact that we not ready for no 3 rate hikes. The market definitely doesn't love that. And so with all of that is uncertainty, right? Not to mention it's a midterm year, and June is a volatile month in the midterm year. So all of those things come into play. And us as investors, we got to walk through that. And not to mention, we had the biggest IPO ever, which is SpaceX. This is everything that's going on in 1 month. You would act like that's a whole year's worth of excitement, but it's only 1 month. Not to mention, Microsoft is in the bear market. Meta is in a deep correction. Tesla is in a deep correction. Nvidia, well, hasn't really led the market, but still is up about 6%. Apple, Amazon, Google, barely making it. And now we have the Mag 7 who carried us so far as now holding us back. Not really. I think the market is really just resetting. It's not dying, it's resetting. And when markets reset, it can shake new investors out because you don't really understand the mechanics of it. And most people panic. But us, as trappers, as championship investors, we prepare for these type of moments, because this is when we triple our net worth. So in this video, I got to break this down for you in a way that you can understand it. And this is what I'm buying before July 1st. Not because I'm looking for 1 week to trade in, not because nothing could go wrong, but because July has historically been one of the strongest months in the S&P. But I want to give you a little more context to that. It's the second strongest month in the S&P and the first strongest month in the NASDAQ. So what does that tell us about July? Not to mention it's your boy birthday, but we ain't gonna even much deal with that. So if the market gives me fear before July, I actually want to take advantage of it. So we're talk about 3 companies, 1 story that's based around AI infrastructure. But before I get into the 3 companies, I need you to understand this other part of the puzzle. Pullbacks matter. Most investors want to buy when everything is good, but when everything feels good, prices are usually higher than they're supposed to be, which means stocks are expensive. Right now, everybody is nervous. The Fear and Greed Index is down to about 28, which is really good. It tells me that the market is at a discount, and it's exactly why I want to buy. And so, I guess that's why I put so much money in the market this month. This stock pulled back? Of course. Not to mention you had a rebalancing take place. So did the story break with AI stocks? Not really. Nvidia just posted $81 billion in revenue in 1 quarter. MU just posted about $50 billion. Google just did a $100 billion partnership with Anthropic. So I don't think the story broke. I think the story actually got better. Not to mention you hear all these headlines on YouTube and Instagram about fear, 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 fear. The headlines are screaming fear. Everybody is talking about it's about to be a recession. You got people doing interviews saying get out of stocks, and you don't know which headline to focus on. So let's break down Nvidia first. It's still the king of the table. And we got to start with that one because as of right now, Nvidia is trading at a 31 PE, which means it hasn't been this cheap in about 7 years. So I don't care if the stock hasn't been trading the best. I know without Nvidia AI is just dead. And so they set the tone. So this company, think about it, it reported $81 billion in one quarter. That's up 85% year over year. That's not weakness, that's domination. And they're not just selling chips, y'all. They're selling a foundation to modern day AI. We're talking GPUs, we're talking networking, we're talking systems, we're talking software. I mean, data center architecture. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that the AI trade is dead with those kind of numbers. And so when Microsoft build AI, Nvidia is there. When Amazon build AI, Nvidia is there. When Meta builds AI, Nvidia is there. When Google builds AI, Nvidia is there, even with Google having its own TPUs, and we'll talk about that a little later. Nvidia is always in the conversation. So here's what most people truly miss. Not only are they dominating data centers, they're moving toward edge computing. Now, edge computing means that AI is moving closer to the device. So it's not just a data center, but it's now in phones, it's in PCs, it's in robots, it's in cars. I mean, factories, drones. I don't think that's weakness. I think that's strength. So today I ask you a question. It may go to the cloud tomorrow. More AI will happen directly on our devices, which kind of make us like walking cyborgs, making your car an AI vehicle inside of the robots that's running around, inside of the factories, inside of the phones. That is edge AI, and NVIDIA is consistently reshaping and evolving how AI will be used. So again, if NVIDIA can dominate data centers and expand deeper into edge, this is not a small opportunity. This is a completely different chapter. And so when NVIDIA pulls back, I don't ask, is it over? I ask, how much of the king do I want to own? And right now, the answer is as much as I can, especially with it trading at a 31 PE ratio. The next company on the list is Alphabet. It is the only company, you know it as Google, but it's the only company that has the full AI stack. That's right. This is one of the most understood AI companies in the world. And most people still think Google is just search, but I promise you that is old thinking. Google is search, but Google is also cloud. Google is also AI chips for custom companies. Google is also data center. Google is also Gemini. Google is also YouTube. Google is also Android. Google is one of the most important AI infrastructure companies on this earth. And most people still just look at it as Google and search and missing the entire identity of this company and what they're doing. They possess the whole AI stack. They have chips, which is TPUs. They have cloud, which is Google Cloud. And they have models, which is Gemini. They have distribution, which is YouTube, Android, Gmail, and Workspace. They have data. They have infrastructure. This is rare. A lot of companies only have one piece. Google has the whole machine. And so I cannot let y'all sleep on that. I know you want to look at all of these other companies, but you're missing someone that is pivotal. Google Cloud has been growing fast. It has actually tripled its revenue in Q1 2026 of $6.6 billion. I want you to think about that again. $6.6 billion in Q1. Then they built a relationship with Anthropic. Yes, the company that has Claude. Yes, the company that's putting pressure on banks and insurance companies and everybody else. Google built a relationship with them. Reportedly, they committed to spending $200 billion over 5 years for Google Cloud services and chips. Think about what that means. One of the most important AI companies in the world is not going to use Google. I want you to just let that sit in for a while. This tells you that Google is not just watching AI happening, they are supplying an AI infrastructure. Now, here's kind of my concern about that. So all of the hyperscalers, they're spending so much money on these data centers and on these chips and on this land to build the data centers and on power, because you can't have AI and you can't have data without power. And if you have power, you got to have cooling and you got to have network. And so AI becomes this colossal spin that they all got to have. And when these companies spend that much money, the free cash flow turns negative because there's pressure on it. And investors are asking themselves now, when will all this pay off? And that is the right question. But here's my answer. If AI becomes as big as we think it is, and we can tell that is because now everybody, and their mama and their grandmother has some type of AI they're reporting, then the company who owns the infrastructure may win for a long time. So Google is one of those companies that's saying, hey, I'll take the loss right now just to win in the future. And so I can't let a company like that go. So we're going to buy as much as Google as we can. And I think this is not investment advice for any of you. It's just me telling you the story. And next on the list is no other than the company Vertiv, which is kind of AI infrastructure play. And here's why this company is truly important to the entire business of AI, ticker symbol VRT. Now, this may be a new name to some new investors, but understand this. It might be the easiest story to explain. So every data center needs two things: power to power AI and cooling to cool it off. Well, most companies either do one or the other. Well, Vertiv does both of them. And this is why this company truly matters. Now, let me just break this down so you can understand it. Nvidia chips are powerful, but powerful chips create heat. And the more AI needs chips, then the more the chips make more heat, and the more heat needs to be cooled off so that the data centers and the AI can keep going. So the more data centers need more powerful infrastructure, and that puts Vertiv right in the middle of the AI buildout. Think of Vertiv as the contractor behind every AI factory, the architect or the system provider. The company helps make sure that the data, listen to me here, can actually run. And this is why the backlog matters for companies like this, because they reported in a backlog of up of 15 billion. That's 109% increase year over year. That's not small, man. Some people don't do 109% in a year, and the customers are lining up. I would go to a New Jack City reference and say, it just keep calling me. But that's a whole nother story that you probably don't want to get into. So what does that mean for them? That means the demand is visible. That means that this is not just a hype story. That means that more people see AI and they think of Nvidia, but they don't understand the things behind it, because Nvidia needs data centers and data centers need power and cooling. And power and cooling needs companies like Vertiv because they're the only one that do it right now. And that's the line under the layer. And that's usually where great investors start looking. I like the ecosystem, not just the one that's already talked about. That's why these three companies are fitting inside of what I'm doing in the month of July, because if the market is going to give me a sell, it behooves me not to take advantage of it. I mean, just like people run to their favorite store on Black Friday, I'll just be honest with you. The stock market is my favorite trap house. And so anytime they can give me great companies on sale to triple my net worth, why wouldn't I? So let's tie it all together. If Nvidia is the brain and Google is the full stack for the AI platform, then Vertiv is the physical infrastructure that keeps the system alive. These are not random names. They fit together. Nvidia powers the model. They're the brain. Google builds the cloud, the chips, the models, and the distribution. And then Vertiv helps the data centers handle power and cooling required to run everything. And so that's why I like this basket. It's not just buy AI. Think of it this way: own the brain, own the platform, and then own the infrastructure. That's the ecosystem that makes us a lot of money, because AI is not one company. It's an ecosystem. I want you to keep that word in your head. It's an ecosystem. And when markets get volatile, that's when people run away and they want to sell us assets at discount prices. And we got to stop thinking it's a scam, man. Really just buy it. So June scared a lot of people. July may reward patience, but I'm not buying because I think stocks only go up. I'm buying because I'm a long-term investor first. And I think future wealth. Nvidia dominates AI compute. Google still owns one of the strongest full stack AI systems around, and Vertiv is inside of every single data center. Could we get more volatility? Absolutely, because August and September are normally rough. So you usually get a run up in July. When you get August, you get a slowdown. July, we get punched in the face. And in the midterm year, you usually get somewhere around a 15% drawdown. So, hey, what do I know? I just know that the stock market is the greatest way to build wealth, and we are in the greatest generational wealth transfer in the world. And why wouldn't we take advantage of it? We need great companies at great prices inside of massive trends. And right now, that's why I'm looking to buy these companies and increase my position in these companies before July 1st. And the reason why I need you not to buy it, but to just look at it is because ask yourself, what would it be like 5 years from now? What would it be like 3 years from now? And then look and ask yourself, what would my wealth be like 10 years from now? The biggest problem that we have is we don't see ourselves 10 years from now. So in 10 years from now, we are in no better financial situation. And we let this great opportunity pass us by. Think about how many people mad that they didn't invest in the internet when it first started. Think about how many people mad that they didn't get into Nvidia when it was $47. It was $4 in 2015. Think about how many people mad that they didn't invest in Micron or SanDisk maybe a year ago. That's what people will be 10 years from now. The goal is to learn how to make your money work for you and put your money in the best possible position so that it can help you. And we know that in the bank, in your wallet, under the mattress, is not the right place. And I can't forget, inside of your bra. So look at these three companies. They are actually on sale right now. And it's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper. My goal is to help you build wealth one share at a time. And when I say Wall Street looks like us, I mean not from a color perspective, from a class perspective. And I promise you, we can turn our last name into an asset, but we got to execute now. Salute.